As of today, I am home and I am done with college. I am back and there are literally boxes and bags and bins all behind you. I was gonna unpack them, but then I went and sat on my bed and I could not tell you how long I stayed there, how much willpower it took me to get up. Hey guys, it's Hannah and today I am doing my April wrap-up and May TBR, which is actually kind of on time, which is almost a miracle, let's be real. And you might be able to tell that there's another bookcase. I've kind of moved over. So we rearranged a bit. There's that chair in the corner. Well, the chair basically goes where I'm sitting. I moved it so I could film this. And we put another bookcase back here. So now I don't have any more books in the closet. I used to have to keep a ton of books in the closet. There's still books in the bathroom. Yes, I have books in my bathroom. We have these shelf things, so it makes sense. But yes, there are books in the bathroom. But now, and it's really messy because I haven't like organized them. I just like threw them on there before I went back after I was home for a weekend. So ignore the clutteredness look of it, but eventually I'll organize them. Might do a video, might not. We'll see if I feel like it. But I'm really excited because I have like a full book background. I feel like an official booktuber now. Like, just say it. So in the month of April, I only read one book. So I'm gonna show you something that I got this month that is super cool and book related. Kind of compensate for the fact that I'll only be talking about one book. And that one book is Obsidio by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, the third and final book in the Illuminae files. I loved it. I loved it. So in Illuminae, which is the first book, this corporation called, I always said Bitech, but I think some people say Baytech, so I don't know which way it's actually pronounced, but I always said Bitech in my head. There's this illegal mining colony and they end up blowing it up. But then two ships of people escape, and the whole premise is those people escaping and trying to get to this one jump point where they can get away from the Bitech ship that's following them. And it is so intense and so fantastic, and these books are told like chat logs, and there are drawings and graphics, and it's just so amazing. The first book was one of my favorites that I read last year. It was so good. And the second book was also really good, but I didn't love it as much as I loved the first one, and it took me a while to kind of get back into it because I'd kind of forgotten what had happened in the first one. And then it's also about different characters from a different ship. And in this book, the two groups of characters kind of come together, and this was probably my favorite of the series. It's between this book and the first book, but oh, it was so good. I loved the way everything was brought together. I loved the way everything went down. I loved just everything about it. I thought it was ingenious, and like all the twists and turns, some of them I'd like predict it, and then I'd be like, but there's no way that could happen. And then it would happen, or like a part of it would happen, and I'd be like, they actually did that. It's just a baffling, amazing, intense, insane book. After I read the first one, I had to like take a break from the series. I think Gemina, the second one, was already out, but I couldn't read it yet because I needed a break. It wasn't scary, but it's intense. It's like watching an Alfred Hitchcock film. It's very suspenseful. They are so good. The characters are so good. There's an artificial intelligence named Aiden, and it's amazing how complex of a character an artificial intelligence is and how huge of an impact that he was able to make. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I loved it. I loved all the characters, and I loved having the two groups to come together. I think that might have been my favorite part, just everyone coming together. It was so good. It was so good. I think the amazing thing about it is they do such a good job of not only having an amazing plot that drives the story forward, but amazing characters that also drive the story forward. So the story is very like action focused, but it's also very character focused. And one doesn't take away from the other, they both just like add to it. And it's so good. Another thing about it is I read it basically throughout the entire month, which was kind of difficult because I had to like reinstate myself in the story each time, but honestly, it wasn't that hard to just get back into it, which was nice. And I don't know how that was not a problem, but it worked out fine considering it took me like 3 weeks, I think, to read. I really love this series. If you haven't read this series and you like sci-fi at all, I highly recommend you read it. It is absolutely amazing. The last book does not disappoint, and I could not recommend it more. It's up there. It might be my favorite book that I've read so far this year. You need to read it. I honestly don't know what else I can say about it, just that it is so good and so amazing. and I love it. So that is the only book I read in the month of April. I've already read one book in May, and I'm currently reading Meet Cute by a whole bunch of authors, and I won't say much about it. I'm about halfway through, if you can see that. And it's underwhelming for me so far. There was one of those short stories that was pretty good and I liked it, and then there was one that made me cry. That one was really good, but it made me cry. I don't know why it's kind of underwhelming for me, because it is exactly what it says it is. A meet cute is when the two protagonists or love interests first meet. That's what the meet cute is. And so this book is just filled with a bunch of people meeting. Like, that's essentially what it is. But some of them you just find very boring. I don't know, it's not impressing me. Like, I'm not hating it, and it's doing exactly what it said it would do. Like, it's a bunch of people meeting, but I don't like it. It's because it's like there's no development at all. They're just like stating this happened one day and then you're done. And so I'm just not loving it. There were two though. One that I liked a lot, and then one that I really liked and made me cry. So now for the special surprise, which honestly I think I might have rambled enough from Obsidio that I don't really need to do the special surprise, but we're gonna do it anyway because I don't know when I'll do like a haul or something. So it's for a haul if you can't tell. And it is The Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. There was an art competition on like Twitter, Instagram, or something where you had to like, you know, like it and comment or retweet or something like that. And I won one! So if you don't know, Mary Pearson wrote Kiss of Deception, which is in the Remnant Chronicles, and I absolutely love that series. If you're in the mood for a fantasy series, I highly recommend you go read it. It's about a princess who is betrothed to marry this dude she doesn't know. She doesn't want to, so instead of doing that, she runs away, and two people are tracking her. One is the prince who was supposed to marry her, and one is an assassin who wants to kill her. And you as the reader don't know who is who as you're reading it. It is amazing. An amazing series. I loved it. And so I'm so excited for this. I'm not quite sure what happens in it. I'm pretty sure it's in the same world that Kiss of Deception is in. There's also a bookmark and a letter, which I'm going to read real quick so I might be able to tell you what this is actually about. So give me a second. Okay, so in the world that Kiss of Deception is in, there were 12 kingdoms. And so this book follows a different one of the kingdoms. Small dynasty on the outskirts of Islandia, about an orphan girl who had no family and had to live by thieving and wit to survive. Ooh. So it's about Jace, the young, strong-headed leader of the powerful outlaw dynasty, and Kazi, an accomplished but reformed thief who has fused her past skills with her new ones learned as a rotten soldier, I don't know if I'm saying that right, into something fierce and unstoppable. This sounds cool. So this comes out in August, and I highly recommend you pick it up. Obviously I haven't read it yet, but I'm super excited about it because I've loved every Mary Pearson book that I've read so far, which is just that one series, but still. And I really want to pick this up soon because I'm so excited for it. And I'm so glad I got it. It's so cool. I like getting arcs. They're so much fun. So that is it for this video. Comment down below and let me know what you read in the month of April. Combining May and April. Comment below, let me know what you read in the month of April. Also comment down below, let me know if you read the Illuminae files, and so we can gush about them because I love them so much. They're so good, they're amazing, and if you haven't read them, you need to read them, and if you have read them, let's chit chat. So that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see y'all again in another one soon.